Tip number 23 from the book 501 Contractor Tips. My name is Greg Vandenberg, the author. I stuck it out for 30 years in the construction business, and trust me, I have got some useful tips. So if you're not going to buy the book, at least watch the videos. And some of these tips in the book are geared, like especially this tip here, tip number 23. Make sure that you have a nice vehicle. And this is under the chapter of making more money. Some of them might seem like they're repeating themselves, but they really aren't. There are other points. Tip number 19 talks about the right vehicle. So we've already covered that. This is basically the right vehicle for making more money, not for starting your business. So you are going to run into tips every once in a while in the book that seem like they might be a little repetitive. And realistically, maybe they are. Out of 501 tips, I got to admit, I did the best I could to go over these things and see if I repeated myself. And every once in a while, it might feel like I am, but I'm not. This is on making more money, and this is an important key to it. And that, of course, is your vehicle. If you want to make more money, you will need to have a nice vehicle. And this, honestly, might require a vehicle that isn't more than 3 years old. Because the only way you're going to make more money is to work for people who have more money. And if you need to repeat that self, you need to rewind this video, play that a couple of times over and over again until you get it stuck in your head. Do it. Because this is the key. So again, this chapter is on making more money. Tip number 23 is very important. This, if you want to make more money, I worked for a guy who drove this into my head. He was right, and this really makes a difference. Make sure that you have a nice vehicle. One thing I noticed about upper scale customers, or the type of customers who pay more money, is the fact that they judge contractors by the vehicles they drive and the clothes they wear. This is a standard in any business. Think about it. If you're working at a multi-million dollar, multi-billion dollar corporation, let's just say you're working at General Electric and you're a vice president and you're in charge of millions of dollars, and someone comes into your office and they're dressed in kind of regular clothes, everybody else is in a suit and a tie, this is going to put this first impression is going to put a damper on this particular relationship. Now, as a contractor, I'm not suggesting you need to dress in a suit and a tie, but you will need to dress nicely. And when I say you need to dress nicely, you will also need to understand what type of clothes your clientele expect you to dress in. This same thing holds true for your vehicle. They will expect you to drive a certain type of car or truck for that matter. And if you're a contractor who's building, you're a framing contractor who does nothing but track homes, new homes, you're building, hundreds if not thousands of new homes every year. You're a framing contractor. You're just doing the framing part. And then the people that you're working for have nice cars, and they go to places. They want to probably drive around in a nice car. When you take them somewhere, they're going to want to be in a nice car. And they will notice. And if you don't have a nice car, they'll probably let you know. And then if you're paying attention and you already watch this video, it should ring a bell. It should make sense to you. Hey, you know what? I am going to need a nice car. Either that, or you could end up being the butt of everyone's jokes. Hey, we're not going in his car. Forget it. And again, if this is what you want, do it. But understand that there could be a penalty to pay later. And again, I'm talking about big corporations. This doesn't include the average homeowner. A big corporation who's building thousands of homes a year, they're going to have a herd mentality. Everybody in the office is going to share similar opinions. So if one of them thinks a certain way, their buddies are probably going to think a certain way. Now, when you go to a homeowner, it's going to be completely different. And when I say completely different, let's face it, homeowners have this same type of mentality also. They'll share it with their friends. but you're not going to really know what it is until you talk to them. So and this is where a nicer vehicle comes in. They come in and you got a nicer vehicle, they automatically think that you know what you're doing. This just puts this you know what, it got a nice car, it rings success. It just always does. You see someone driving a Mercedes or a Lexus, whatever you would view as a nice car, then you automatically think that they're doing better than other people who are driving cars that cost less money. So it's not hard to figure out. So again, this tip would apply to anyone who's going to be working for people who expect you to drive a nice vehicle. Now, at the same time, do not forget, I believe I went over this in tip number 19. If you do have a nice vehicle, but you pull up in front of a real expensive home and you're going to remodel their kitchen, there are going to be some people who will look at your car and think that they're going to get ripped off. So this is something that you would have to pay attention to. And again, we tend to work with specific clients. You're going to meet a certain type of person and they're going to refer you to other people who think like them. These people who, when you pull up in front of the house and they're going to think you're going to rip them off, these probably aren't the people you want to work for anyway. You're going to want to work for the other people who are going to, you know what, hey, he's a successful person. I understand I will have to pay a little more money for a premium product. These are the people you want to work for.